Hi, and welcome to Meetings in Math. We are just starting chapter 4, all about linear equations. 4.1, you are going to begin writing your own essential question based on the work we did today. But I will tell you our learning goal. Our learning goal is to graph a linear equation from ordered pairs. You will need your Jaguar Jots, a pencil, a pen, and a highlighter might be helpful. A ruler is a must, and a calculator might be helpful along with your determination and perseverance. Make sure you are on 4.1. So one of the important things about learning how to take notes is for you to be able to start developing your own essential question. But you do know the learning goals. From there, your essential question is not that far away. So let's begin. First off, let's look at an ordered pair. An ordered pair goes like this. X and Y. X's go across or horizontal, and Y's are vertical or up and down. And they always go in that order, and they are always with parentheses. A linear equation is an equation whose graph is a line. So everything that we're going to be doing is a line. That is why you need a ruler. The points on the line are the solution to the equation. So we are going to start off with one of the ways that we can make a line, and that is just using ordered pairs. So when you're doing ordered pairs, you pick any of the x's that you want. So you get to pick these. So there's really no rule on what they have to be. They can be anything that you want, but we tend not to use decimals. We tend to pick nice numbers, and we tend to pick both positives and negatives. And then what you do is you substitute it into the equation. So we are graphing the equation y equals x plus 1. So we substitute them into the equation and we simplify it. And then we get the value of y. And then once we have those, we are going to graph the coordinates or the points. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing. Right here I'm picking -2 for x. So y equals -2 plus 1. So then I go, okay, well, what is -2 plus 1? -2 plus 1 is a -1, so my value of y is -1. So my ordered pair is -2, -1. So now I can come down to my graph. I want to add some things to this graph that are not here already. The fact I know this is an x-axis and a y-axis. Put arrows at the end because they do go on forever. And I need to tell you how much I'm counting by. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I put a 5 here, I now know that each of these are worth 1. So I've now identified my scale. So my point is -2, -1. So that means I go backwards 2 on the x, 1, 2, and down 1 in the y direction, and I put it up. Okay, let's go do the next one. I'm going to show a different color only because I want you to be able to tell the difference. So every time I see an x, I'm going to put a -1 now. So y equals, x is going to be -1 plus 1. So -1 plus 1 would be a 0. So y is 0. So my point is -1, 0. Let's do the next one. Y is 0 plus 1. So y is 1. So y is 1. So this is the point, 0, 1. I want you to finish the next two on your own. Okay, check your work. You should have gotten that when x was 1, y was 2, and when x was 2, y was 3. So let's go ahead and graph those points. The point -1, 0 means go back 1 and then don't move. The point 0, 1 means don't move and then go up 1. 1, 2 means over 1 and up 2. And 2, 3 means go over 2, 1, 2, and up 3, 1, 2, 3. And there's our line. So then we take our straight edge. I find it easiest to put my pencil on a point and then kind of lean into it. I'm going to do this all the way through all of the points. Put an arrow on both sides. And there's my line. We also now want to name our line. So the name of our line is the equation. So it's y equals x plus 1. And there's the name of our line. So now we've finished it. And if you remember, we went over slope. We can actually see the slope, right? It goes, the change in y is 1, and then change in x is 1. And you can see that stair step starting to happen that we've been talking about. So that is graphing a line using coordinates and finding our own. So remember, you get to choose your x's, you plug it into the equation, you find your y's, and you graph your points. So let's look at our next one. Here we have our x and our y. This right here is going to be the name of our graph. The name of our graph is right here. Y equals 1/2 x minus 3. And then this is going to be our ordered pair, x, y. We can pick any x's that we want. I tend to go -2 to 2. So -2, I am probably not going to do 1. It's going to give me a weird fraction, but maybe. But I'm definitely going to do 0. I'm definitely going to do 2. Maybe I can pick another nice even number that taking a half will work nicely with. So what about 4 and -4? Notice they don't go in order. That's okay. They don't have to. That's the beauty of this. I get to do whatever I want here in this column. So now it's going to be y equals 1/2 -2 minus 3. 1/2 of -2 is -1 minus 3. -1 minus 3 is -4. So my ordered pair is -2, -4. So that's one ordered pair right there. 0 is always nice to use because that makes my coefficient go away. Y equals 1/2 times 0 minus 3. 1/2 of 0 is 0. 0 minus 3 is -3. So this is the point 0, -3. Y equals 1/2 of 4 minus 3. Half of 4 is 2. 2 minus 3 is a -1. You guys go finish 2 and -4 and then come on back. Okay, so check your work. I got, when it was 2, I got 2, -2. And when it was -4, I got -4, 5. So we want to graph those points now. So remember, x with your arrows, y with your arrows. And we could count by 2's if we want, but we don't need to. So I'm going to graph the point -2, 4. So backwards 2, 1, 2, and down 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 0, -3. Don't go anywhere, and then down 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, -2. Go over 2. 1, 2, and down 2. 1, 2. 4, -1. Go over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and down 1. Backwards 4, and down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way down 5. And there's my graph. Again, I'm not complete until I connect it up. So again, I put my pen down on my dot and then I kind of move it all into place. It needs to go through all the points, and the last thing I need to do is name it. Y equals 1/2 x minus 3. Okay, let's look at this next one. Y equals 4. So that is the name of our equation. Y equals -4. And then we have our ordered pairs. Pick any x's you want. Any x's. Yours can even be different than mine today because something weird is going to happen. I'm going to pick -15, 0, and 3. And when I go to substitute them in here, is there any x to put it into? There's not. And so I end up with y equals -4. So y is -4. And this is the point -15, -4. Okay, I'll try again. Maybe that was a weird fluke. 0 into y equals -4. There's no x again. Okay, so y equals -4. Y is equal to -4. So this is the point. X is 0, so 0, -4. I'll try again. It's not working. But I promise I'm doing it right. Putting x equals 3 into, there's no x again. Y equals -4. -4. This is the point 3, -4. What's going on? There's no x's. So let's just graph the points and see what happens here. Can you make a prediction? What do you think is going to happen here? So negative 15, 4. So backwards 15 and down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like a dot way out here. 0, negative 4. That's a dot right here. 3, negative 4. 1, 2, 3, and down 4. That's really interesting. It ended up being a horizontal line. I wonder if that's true anytime that my equation is y equals all by itself. That would be a really interesting thing for you to explore. Is it true that every time my equation is y equals all by itself, I'm going to get a nice horizontal line? You should investigate that. So how do we fill out the table here? I want you to pause it and fill out this table on your own. So you should have gotten something that looks similar to this. So I'm going to pick any x's that I want. Remember, they can be anything that I want. So I like the x's. Let's pick negative 5, 0, and 2. But wait, it says I can't do that. It says x has to be what? It says no matter what I do, x has to be 1. So these I can't do this time because it says x has to be negative 1. So my only choices are negative 1, negative 1, and negative 1. Well, that's really boring. But that's what it says it has to be. So x equals negative 1. It doesn't matter what y is. It says y can be anything it wants. So this could be negative 1, 3. That would still be true. Has to be negative 1. So this could be negative 1, negative 2. That would still be true. So this could be negative 1, 10. And that would still be true. So just like when it was y equals, when x equals, we're going to have a unique phenomena. When x is equal to negative 1, so that would be here, so negative 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, that makes it true. Negative 1, negative 2, that makes it true. And negative 1, 10 would be way up here. That would also make it true. So it looks like a nice vertical line is what happens when we have an x equals. I wonder if that's true anytime it's an x equals all by itself. That would be something really nice to explore. So what happens when you have an x equals or a y equals? You should explore that just a little bit. Okay, so in this last example, so we are going to save that one for class. I suggest you try it now and see how well you do on it, but that's a great one for class. Today, we went over how to graph a line from a table using a table of values. And this is great for us when we are just learning how to do it, or even if we have forgotten, we can always come back to this. So thank you again for showing up, and I cannot wait to see you in our next lesson. Remember to be kind to one another because we can always use some extra kindness in our lives. Bye now.